Hey, good morning, team. Welcome to week 3 of OS 210, Organizational Communications. So this week we're going to be reading chapter 4 and chapter 5, and we're going to be looking at our organizations as whether we have a matrix style organization or a hierarchical uh, organization, and how we communicate amongst that. Now, generally, most organizations are a combination of so, but how we communicate is different. Whether it's very formal communications up and down the chain of command, or informal in in a matrix style. But before we start talking about what's going on this week, I want to review what we did last week, right, with our communication plan. And I put a second discussion board on there. So before you panic, all I want you to do with this discussion board, the second one, is to post your mission and vision statements that you did in your communication plan in there. No need to reply, but I want everybody to see the different types of mission and vision statements and some things to think about. Who is the audience for your mission statement? Is it the investors? Is it the customer, the consumer? Is it the employees? Because I think as you read the different types of mission statements, you're going to see the differences. Is the mission to make a profit? Is it to deliver to the consumer? Is it to have happy employees? Is that a big mission statement? One that employees and people may not be able to recite? Does it have acronyms that people would not know what they mean by looking at them? And also with the vision statements, right? I like vision statements that are short and I can remember them, right? Usually, there's a guy, Heath, oh God, now I can't remember him, Dan Heath, and he wrote a book called Sticky, and he says never put more than 3 things, right? People don't want to remember more than 3 things. And we had some vision statements, they have a list. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. So ask yourself as an employee, can you recite that list? Nah, people, I mean, only the very smartest of people can remember a list of 7. That's why phone numbers are 7 digits. So as we start putting more and more things into our vision statements, sometimes the more we say, the less we say, right? So I want everybody to take a look at the different missions and vision statements that I got to see from you guys, and have this in your mind, that hey, this doesn't really appeal to me. I wouldn't be able to remember this. It's not useful, because as we are talking about business communications, right? The mission and vision statement is the strategic level. You have the strategic, the operation, and then the tactical level. So the strategic level comes out with the mission and vision statement. They say, this is what we're going to do. The operation level, which is mid-level management, would come up with operational plans that support the strategic mission and vision. If there's too much, or they're not worded well, or if it's too vague, how can the operational level support something they don't understand? Or better yet, if the mission and vision statement is only about making a profit for the investor, how can the operational level design operational plans that they don't have an effect on the profit outcome? See, these are where some of the disconnects mean. So, for instance, if I'm at the tactical level, if I'm a floor line manager and I'm designing, making widgets, what do I really care about the investor at that point? I really don't. I have to make sure that I produce for the consumer. So these are some of our strategic disconnects. And I want you to think about that while you're looking at the mission and vision statements of other companies. Okay. Excuse me, still coming off this flu. This is one of the benefits, right, of online communication. I'm not spreading my germs to you. Okay, so this week we have chapter 4, chapter 5. Also, for our communication plan, we're going to do a SWOT analysis. Now, I put a bunch of videos online on what a SWOT analysis is. Basically, it stands for what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, what are the opportunities, and what are the threats facing our company. So you're going to have to do some research into your communication plan. So strength and weaknesses, this is internal to the company. Opportunities and threats, this is external to the company. So basically, let's say I'm doing Dunkin' Donuts, because I don't think anybody's doing Dunkin' Donuts. What are my strengths? Is it employee training? Is it diversity of products? Is it the consumer name? What are my weaknesses? Is it my only having breakfast food? Is it the employee turnover? Is it lack of training? These are internal to my organization. These are my strengths and weaknesses. What are my opportunities? Okay. Is there emerging markets where Dunkin' Donuts can spread? You know, is Canada a viable option for Dunkin' Donuts franchises? Is it, going into the, I don't know, the burger industry or pastry industry? Are these some of my opportunities? Is there an opportunity to expand there? What are my threats besides Starbucks, right? Is it, spreading into an emerging country or region that is not familiar with the Dunkin' Donuts brand? So these are some of the things I want you to write about and to think about in your communication plan. Because as we do this, these are things that have to be communicated to the investors. They have to be communicated to the employees and to management. And how would you do that? How would you communicate this? Because if you, quote, leak the wrong information to the wrong people, you have now given your strategic plan. Things to think about. Okay, so there's also discussion boards on input, throughput, and output. This is all has to do with the organizational charts in chapter 4. Now that's your normal discussion board where do your posting and then 2 replies. Everybody's been doing good with that so far. Once again, we're moving into week 3. So on Tuesday, I'm going to be clearing out week 2, putting zeros for people who haven't participated in the discussion boards and so forth. I don't, like I said, I don't do late discussion boards. Now, next week, I'm going to be on travel. I'm going to be in Norfolk training the USS Eisenhower, but my hotel says I do have Wi-Fi. So that should be good to go. Okay, so there should be no disconnectivity. Okay, so once again, good work so far. And this is Dave out. Thank you.